Details on a stunning reversal at ILM Airport. Avelo Airlines cutting a majority of its flights from the airport. It comes as the airline is restructuring its fleet and business model. Just last year, Avelo named Wilmington a new base of operations, even rolling out an international flight just a few weeks ago. Now both of those are gone, along with many other flights. For now, Avelo's only offering Nashville, New Haven, Tampa, and D.C. Baltimore. Avelo is contacting impacted travelers directly. WECT's Ariana Bertolotti is speaking with airport officials today and concerned customers. Her report is tonight on WECT News at 5.